You know, national politics still very much in the spotlight, but locally, eyes are already on the 2023 race for mayor in Jacksonville, a race that current Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry is term limited out of. So Dr. Richard Danford, he is the president of the Jacksonville Urban League. He's widely expected to declare his candidacy, and we did reach out to Danford for an interview. And today, on the heels of a vote that shot down the Lot J project there at TIAA Bank Field, City Councilman Matt Carlucci officially declared his intent to run. And our David Jones is on your side. He spoke today with the Republican. He joins us live tonight from City Hall with the very latest. David?
Heather, you may be wondering, why are we talking about a mayoral race that's still more than 2 years out? Well, it shows just how much interest there is in filling this position, a position that current Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry ran unopposed for in 2019. Current City Councilman and Finance Chair Matt Carlucci declaring today that he has filed and does intend to run for mayor in 2023. The name Carlucci, not unfamiliar at City Hall. He served 3 prior city council terms before his current one and was elected council president in 2001. He also served on the Florida Commission on Ethics and had an unsuccessful bid for mayor in 2003. Carlucci says his bug for public service comes from his father, Joe Carlucci, a former councilman during consolidation and state senator. Recently, Carlucci was heavily involved in the Lot J debate, criticizing the deal as one-sided and voting against it. He's also fought the sale of JEA and supported the half-penny sales tax for Duval County schools. Carlucci says his political priorities during this campaign will be integrity, transparency, and public input at City Hall.
You know, our leaders have not been listening to our people. There's no public involvement. That is so key to having this city to move. I have always said that our city moves best when we all move together.
Some of his big issues, he says, tackling crime through prevention and intervention, upgrading infrastructure in the oldest parts of the city, and of course supporting resiliency efforts in a city that's extremely prone to flooding and climate change. We're live at City Hall. David Jones, First Coast News, on your side.